Jiu-jitsu practitioners try to strengthen their bodies so they can absorb punishment. The idea, says Gambordella, is to take the first punch without trying to block it. Then take control of the opponent.
His throat or his ass.
How can he take such punishment? Gambordella says it's a combination of physical and mental training, and for lack of a better word, a spiritual element of confidence. Japanese call that combination ki.
Ki is muscle control, breath control, and mind control. All three used simultaneously. And when you use all three, they become a different identity. Just like the parts of a car are just metal and plastic and wire, but when you put them together, they become a car. Right? Your ki is a force in your body. You can feel it after you start to study it. It's nothing mystical. It's just something that you feel, just like you feel good.
All of this would be little more than an exotic sideshow, except that Gambordella has written a book about how his skills could be applied to Western sports to prevent injury to players. It's called An End to Injury, and he's spent a lot of time promoting his book and ideas. Talking to football teams and high school gym classes in Texas, Louisiana, and other parts of the South, Gambordella says he can teach players how to avoid being hurt with about a week's training.
What we're here to discuss is how to prevent athletic injuries. Okay? There's only three ways that you can get hurt in an athletic event. One of them is overstretching, tearing or pulling the muscles because of lack of flexibility. The second way is falling down wrong, breaking your arms, your shoulders, your legs because you don't know how to fall on the ground right. And the third way is getting hit and breaking your bones. Well, all three of those ways have proven techniques that will work to prevent the injuries.
The physical display is extraordinarily convincing.
Everybody feel your ribs there. On the bones, right? All right. Elbow.
And there are less spectacular parts that are equally useful.
You show? This all looks real simple, but I haven't found three football players that can do it. Flexibility program. A lot of football players use stretches that hurt themselves. You see the player sitting down and doing this type of stretch. This stretches your knee ligaments out. It makes your knee more vulnerable to being pulled or torn. Because they're not supposed to stretch your knee. You want that to remain pretty tight, flexible but not stretched. I'd like to see the program of ki and concept of preventing injuries and techniques from it incorporated into the junior highs and the high schools so that the children and the young athletes of America today are not getting needlessly injured. Everything takes money. Organization of teachers, national publication and all that. And unfortunately, my money is out right now. And I just would need a sponsor for something like that. I've approached insurance companies who you would think would be jumping up and down, specifically an insurance company that deals in athletic injuries. You know, it insures the football players. They weren't interested. Not because they didn't think it would work, but because they weren't sure the coaches would do it. There's injuries all around the world, especially young children who aren't even in sports, just playing in the backyard. The parents' first thing they always tell them is, be careful when you go outside, right? Why not show the child some things to be careful? You know, when you show him, don't put your hand on the stove. Don't wait till he puts his hand on the stove and then say, I told you so. Say, now, Johnny, be careful when you fall down. This is how you're supposed to do it. Johnny, if you run into the wall, this is how you run into a wall and not get hurt.
Youngsters believe what they've seen quite readily. Gambordella says too few adults, and coaches especially, have the patience to watch and listen to him. But he has some firm supporters, among those coaches who have brought him in as an advisor.
Brought Ted in and let him have a shot, and from there, I tell you, it's been a tremendous boost to us mentally, as our kids have gained a mental confidence, and that's what we went to the program for.
What made him get the confidence?
I think the biggest thing that gave the kids the confidence in what they were doing is watching Ted in his demonstrations. Ted allowed two or three of our big kids just to haul off and hit him with everything they had, fist or forearm, whatever they wanted to choose and hit him with, in the rib cage, in the pit of the stomach, and so forth. And as Ted took the blows and didn't blink his eyes and didn't move from where he was standing, the kids began to say, hey, if he can do this and he can teach me how, then I've got to be a whole lot better off than I am now. And it's helped our mental attitude from the standpoint of our kids now, who used to be a little bit afraid of going and getting into contact now, have the confidence to go in and deliver blows, take blows, and not worry about being hurt with it.
Eventually, Gambordella would like to own and run a clinic where his techniques and other physical fitness lessons could be taught. At the moment, though, he's trying to peddle his book and convince prospective students that he has something worth knowing. It seems that no one is easily persuaded until they see it. One word of caution. The first scene you saw in the Ted Gambordella story was Ted pushing a knife into his throat. That is something no one should try unless he is an expert like Ted Gambordella. And don't go away, because in just a moment we'll have our PM departments.
Friday, Boyd is the Midnight Cowboy, a man out of